Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Bible in a Year with Lovie. We are on day 57. Yeah, we're definitely making progress. We are reading the Life Application Study Bible, New Living Translation, the 3rd edition. Today we're going to pick up on Numbers chapter 12. We're going to read 12, 13, and 14. Then we're going to flip over to Mark chapter 5 and finish it off. Got me a little bit of sunburn yesterday. I actually changed my own brakes. I'm really proud of that. That was a really cool accomplishment and something for me to learn. Because yes, I am a woman, but I do not mind getting my hands dirty when needed. And that's also part of the reason why I was a little late recording yesterday, because I was busy. I spent the greater part of my morning changing my brakes, and then I went and helped my Uncle Larry out, spent some time with him, took him to run errands and stuff like that. And yeah, God's really using me to honor the elders in my family right now. Between my dad being in the nursing home and my mom, her vision is gradually getting worse, and so it's difficult for her to drive. And now I have really been trying to help my Uncle Larry out as much as possible, just because everybody needs somebody to be there for them, and I'm just trying to do my part. And I've been blessed in the process. I really thoroughly enjoy the time that I've gotten to spend with each one of them as, helping them out in whatever area. And I would just encourage all of y'all right now to, honor your elders. Spend time with your elders while they're still here. Tomorrow is not promised, nor is today. So, if you have someone in your family that is elderly or that is, older, like the older generation, like the generation above you, take the time to actually spend with them. They deserve it. They've had long lives. They've experienced so much, and we can actually learn so much from them. So, I am just absorbing everything from every one of the elders that I've been able to spend time with, and I just encourage y'all to do the same thing. You will feel so much more fulfilled. And yeah, it's a good thing to do, So anyways, with all that said, we're gonna start with Numbers chapter 12. And if y'all are ready, let's dive right in. While they were at Hazeroth, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses because he had married a Cushite woman. They said, "Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too?" But the Lord heard them. Now Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person on earth. I said that wrong. Okay. They said, "Has the Lord only spoken through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too?" Okay, but the Lord heard them. Now Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person on earth. So immediately the Lord called to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam and said, "Go out to the tabernacle, all three of you." So the three of them went to the tabernacle. Then the Lord descended in the pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. "Aaron and Miriam," he called, and they stepped forward. And the Lord said to them, "Now listen to what I say. If there were prophets among you, I, the Lord, would reveal myself in visions. I would speak to them in dreams, but not with my servant Moses. Of all my house, he is the one I trust. I speak to him face to face, clearly and not in riddles. He sees the Lord as he is. So why were you not afraid to criticize my servant Moses? The Lord was very angry with them, and he departed. As the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow from leprosy. When Aaron saw what had happened to her, he cried out to Moses, "Oh, my master, please don't punish us for this sin we have so foolishly committed. Don't let her be like a stillborn baby, already decayed at birth." So Moses cried out to the Lord, "Oh God, I beg you, please heal her." But the Lord said to Moses, "If her father had done nothing more than spit in her face, wouldn't she be defiled for 7 days? So keep her outside the camp for 7 days, and after that she may be accepted back." So Miriam was kept outside the camp for 7 days, and the people waited until she was brought back before they traveled again. Then they left Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. Now I just want to say, that's how God feels about gossip. He don't approve of that. Oh, you're talking about my servant like that? That's my servant. Like, I chose that person to be my servant. That person is walking with me. How dare you gossip about them behind their back? See, that's what Miriam and Aaron were doing. Well, Miriam was really apparently the one who was really doing the gossip, you know. She was jealous. She didn't understand why, you know. He spoke through us too. He hasn't just spoke through Moses. But God ain't with that, man. Don't be going around talking about people. You don't know who God's chosen are. Like, you don't know who he favors. You know, like that would be like me talking bad about my pastor behind his back. Like, no, I would never do that. You know, and nor should you. Because God don't play. God don't play. He'll strike you down with something you can't get rid of. He don't play about his chosen. Anyways. I just need to say that. Chapter 14. The Lord now said to Moses, "Send out men to explore the land of Canaan, the land I'm giving to the Israelites. Send one leader from each of the 12 ancestral tribes." So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He sent out 12 men, all tribal leaders of Israel, from their camp in the wilderness of Paran. These were the tribes and the names of their leaders. From the tribe of Reuben, the leader was Shemuel, son of Zechar, whatever. Simeon, from the tribe of Simeon was Shaphat, son of Hori. From the tribe of Judah was Caleb, son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of Issachar was Igal, son of Joseph. From the tribe of Ephraim was Hoshea, son of Nun. From the tribe of Benjamin was Palti, son of Raphu. From the tribe of Zebulun was Gadiel, son of Sodi. From the tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, was Gadi, son of Susi. From the tribe of Dan was Amiel, son of Jamali. From the tribe of Asher was Sether, son of Michael. From the tribe of Naphtali was Nabi, son of Vophsi. That's a really difficult one. From the tribe of Gad was Jeuel, son of Maki. Now, y'all know how I am with these names. Look, they're hard to pronounce. I don't speak that language. I cannot pronounce the names sometimes. I'm doing the best I can, so y'all just bear with me because it is what it is, all right? I know I'm not the only person that struggles with the names in the Bible, okay? We just gonna put that out there, okay? Like, I'm human, and, I don't know what the pronunciation of these things, so we just going with it. And y'all know y'all be struggling the same way, so don't judge me. Verse 16. These are the names of the men Moses sent out to explore the land. Moses called Hoshea, son of Nun, by the name Joshua. Moses gave the men these instructions as he sent them out to explore the land. Go north through the Negev into the hill country. See what the land is like, and find out whether the people living there are strong or weak, few or many. See what kind of land they live in. Is it good or bad? Do their towns have walls? Or are they unprotected like open camps? Is the soil fertile or poor? Are there many trees? Do your best to bring back samples of the crops you see. It happened to be the season for harvesting the first ripe grapes. So they went up and explored the land from the wilderness of Zin as far as Rehob near Lebo Hamath. Going north, they passed through the Negev and arrived at Hebron, where Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, all descendants of Anak, lived. The ancient town of Hebron was founded 7 years before the Egyptian city of Zoan. When they came to the valley of Eshcol, they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes so large that it took 2 of them to carry it on a pole between them. They also brought back samples of the pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol, which means cluster, because of the cluster of grapes the Israelite men cut there. After exploring the land for 40 days, the men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to the whole community what they had seen and showed them the fruit they had taken from the land. This was their report to Moses. We entered the land you sent us to explore, and it is indeed a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the kind of fruit it produces. But the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. The Amalekites lived in the Negev, and the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and along the Jordan Valley. But Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once to take the land, he said. We can certainly conquer it. But the other men who had explored the land with him disagreed. We can't go up against them. They're stronger than we are. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw were huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too. 14. Then the whole community began weeping aloud, and they cried all night. Their voices rose in a great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. If only we had died in Egypt, or even here in the wilderness, they complained. Why has the Lord taken us to this country only to have us die in battle? Our wives and our little ones will be carried off as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt? Then they plotted among themselves, let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground before the whole community of Israel. 2 of the men who had explored the land, Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, tore their clothing. They said to all the people of Israel, The land we traveled through and explored is a wonderful land. And if the Lord is pleased with us, He'll bring us safely into the land and give it to us. It is a rich land flowing with milk and honey. Do not rebel against the Lord, and don't be afraid of the people of the land. They are only helpless prey to us. They have no protection, but the Lord is with us. Don't be afraid of them. But the whole community began to talk about stoning Joshua and Caleb. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to all the Israelites at the tabernacle. And the Lord said to Moses, "How long will these people treat me with contempt? Will they never believe me, even after all the miraculous signs I've done among them? I will disown them and destroy them with the plague. Then I'll make you into a nation greater and mightier than they are." But Moses objected. "What will the Egyptians think when they hear about it?" he asked the Lord. "They know full well the power you displayed in rescuing your people from Egypt. Now if you destroy them, the Egyptians will send a report to the inhabitants of this land, who have already heard that you live among your people. They know, Lord, that you've appeared to your people face to face, and that your pillar of cloud hovers over them. They know that you go before them in the pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Now if you slaughter all these people with a single blow, the nations that have heard of your fame will say, 'The Lord was not able to bring them into the land He swore to give them, so He killed them in the wilderness.' Please, Lord, prove that your power is as great as you have claimed. For you said, 'The Lord is slow to anger and filled with unfailing love, forgiving every kind of sin and rebellion. But it does not excuse the guilty. He lays the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even children in the third and fourth generations. In keeping with your magnificent, unfailing love, please pardon the sins of this people, just as you've forgiven them ever since they left Egypt.' Then the Lord said, 'I will pardon them as you have requested, but as surely as I live, and as surely as the earth is filled with the Lord's glory, not one of these people will ever enter that land. They have all seen my glorious presence and the miraculous signs I performed both in Egypt and in the wilderness. But again and again they've tested me by refusing to listen to my voice. They'll never even see the land I swore to give their ancestors. None of those who have treated me with contempt will ever see it." You can let your dogs out. I'm in the middle of... Yeah. But you can let your dogs out. I do have a family. Yeah. But my servant Caleb has a different attitude than the others have. He has remained loyal to me, so I will bring him into the land he explored. His descendants will possess their full share of that land. Now turn around and don't go on toward the land where the Amalekites and Canaanites live. Tomorrow you must set out for the wilderness in the direction of the Red Sea. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "How long must I put up with this wicked community and its complaints about me? Yes, I've heard the complaints the Israelites are making against me. Now tell them this, as surely as I live, declares the Lord, I will do to you the very things I heard you say. You will all drop dead in this wilderness because you complained against me. Every one of you who is 20 years old or older and was included in the registration will die. You will not enter and occupy the land I swore to give you. The only exceptions will be Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. You said your children would be carried off as plunder. Well, I'll bring them safely into the land, and they will enjoy what you have despised. But as for you, You will drop dead in the wilderness, and your children will be like shepherds wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. In this way, they will pay for your faithlessness until the last of you lies dead in the wilderness. Because your men explored the land for 40 days, you must wander the wilderness for 40 years. A year for each day, suffering the consequences of your sin. Then you will discover what it is like to have me for an enemy. I, the Lord, have spoken. I will certainly do these things to every member of the community who has conspired against me. They will be destroyed here in the wilderness, and here they will die. The 10 men Moses had sent to explore the land, the ones who incited rebellion against the Lord with their bad report, were struck dead with the plague before the Lord. Of the 12 who had explored the land, only Joshua and Caleb remained alive. When Moses reported the Lord's words to all the Israelites, the people were filled with grief. Then they got up early the next morning and went to the top of the range of hills. Let's go, they said. We realize that we have sinned, but now we're ready to enter the land the Lord has promised us. But Moses said, why are you now disobeying the Lord's orders to return to the wilderness? It won't work. Do not go up into the land now. You will only be crushed by your enemies because the Lord is not with you. When you face the Amalekites and Canaanites in battle, you will be slaughtered. The Lord will abandon you because you have abandoned the Lord. But the people defiantly pushed ahead toward the hill country, even though neither Moses nor the ark of the Lord's covenant left the camp. Then the Amalekites and the Canaanites who lived in those hills came down and attacked them and chased them back as far as Hormah. Yeah, he don't play. How long are you going to keep being disobedient? How long are you going to keep questioning God? How long? You gonna go back into the wilderness? Are you going to follow God and be happy and humble with the things that he's already blessed you with? Or do you want to go back to the wilderness? Me personally, I'm trying to make it to the promised land. I don't want to go back to the wilderness. God pulled me out of the wilderness, and I'm so grateful to him. I will forever serve him. I do not ever want to go back into the wilderness. Let me tell you what, when you're in the mud and God pulls you out of it, don't go back to it. Don't grumble and complain about how things are going. Trust his process. Look, his process is greater than our plans. And if you really want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, y'all really, we have to, like, be humble in where we're at. We have to trust that whatever stage we're in, whether we're going through the fire, whether we're, at the top of our ministry, whether we're just beginning, whether we're just starting our walk, wherever, whatever point in our journey we're on, he's still taking us, like we still have places to go and things to do for the kingdom, because God has a purpose for all of us. His purpose is greater than our plans. We have to trust that whatever we're going through, it's within God's will. Yes, things will happen. Life will happen. Nobody said that this walk was going to be easy. Nobody said we weren't going to ever experience anything. These people are complaining because, there's giants. They're going to kill us. We should have went back. We just need to go back to Egypt. But God delivered you out of that, and he's showing you where he's taking you to. And what? Because you see the giants, now you're scared? You don't want to step into that because what? You think your God ain't big enough to deliver you from the hands of the giants? Really? He delivered you from Egypt, who had you as slaves. What has God delivered you from? And what giant are you looking at that you're scared to face? Look. If God calls you into something, it don't matter what's in front of you. You got to trust that he is going to take care of it. He already went before you and straightened that out. You got to know with all faith that he already made your way. Like, it's already done. The battle's already won. Don't go back to Egypt. He already brought you from there. Don't go back to that. Don't go back into the wilderness. What's wrong with you? When you were in the wilderness, you were complaining because you didn't have this and you didn't have that. Oh, we're tired of eating manna. Well, we don't don't got no meat. Come on, bruh. You really want to go back to the wilderness? I don't want to go back to the wilderness. In my wilderness, there was methamphetamines. There was a loss of everything. There was isolation. There was all the stuff, like all the things that you don't want to happen. Like addiction is one of the worst forms of wilderness that you can experience, bro. I never want to go back to the wilderness ever. So therefore, whatever giant stands in front of me, whatever storm I have to go through, whatever fire I have to be in for God to polish me up and shine me up and make me into the person he called me to be, I'm going to keep going through that. I'm going to keep facing my giants. And that's what I encourage y'all to do too. Anyways, that was a really good, yeah. So, let's flip over to Mark chapter 5. Let's read some more red letters. I love when Jesus talks. We're picking up on verse 21. Man, thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here. Use me. Mark chapter 5, verse 21. Y'all ready? Here we go. Jesus got into the boat again and went back to the other side of the lake, where a large crowd gathered around him on the shore. Then a leader of the local synagogue, whose name was Jairus, arrived. When he saw Jesus, he fell at his feet, pleading fervently with him. "My little daughter is dying," he said. "Please come and lay your hands on her. Heal her so she can live." Jesus went with him, and all the people followed, crowding around him. A woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding. She had suffered a great deal from many doctors, and over the years she had spent everything she had to pay them. But she had gotten no better. In fact, she'd gotten worse. She had heard about Jesus, so she came up behind him through the crowd and touched his robe. For she thought to herself, if I can just touch his robe, I'll be healed. Immediately the bleeding stopped, and she could feel in her body that she had been healed of the terrible condition. Jesus realized that at once that healing power had gone out from him. So he turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my robe?" His disciples said to him, "Look at this crowd pressing around you. How can you ask who touched me?" But he kept on looking around to see who had done it. Then the frightened woman, trembling at the realization of what had happened to her, came and fell to her knees in front of him and told him what she had done. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Your suffering is over." She had so much faith, man. She had so much faith. She just knew if she just touched, if I could just touch the hem of his robe, I know I'll be healed. I know I'll be healed. While he was still speaking to her, messengers arrived from the home of Jairus, the leader of the synagogue. They told him, "Your daughter is dead. There's no use troubling the teacher now." But Jesus overheard them and said to Jairus, "Don't be afraid. Just have faith." Then Jesus stopped the crowd and wouldn't let anyone go with him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. When they came to the home of the synagogue leader, Jesus saw much commotion and weeping and wailing. He went inside and asked, "Why all this commotion and weeping? The child isn't dead. She's only asleep." The crowd laughed at him, but he made them all leave. And he took the girl's father and mother and his 3 disciples into the room where the girl was lying. Holding her hand, he said to her, "Talitha koum." Talitha koum, which means, "Little girl, get up." And the girl, who was 12 years old, immediately stood up and walked around. They were overwhelmed and totally amazed. Jesus gave them strict orders not to tell anyone what had happened, and then he told them to give her something to eat. Man. When you read stories like this, well, for me personally, when I read stories like this, like the woman with the issue of blood, when I read her story, it makes me really question my own faith. Like, do I really have that kind of faith? And if not, what can I do to establish stronger faith? Well, one thing I can do, and you can do as well, is stay in your word, man. Stay in your word. Read every day. Make it a point to get in the word every day. It don't matter if you read your Bible already through once. Read it again. Go back, flip through it. There's something in there. It's the living word. It applies to our life on a daily basis in every aspect and every manner of our life. And if your faith is shaken, there are stories in here of astonishing faith. Like, she just wanted to touch the hem of his robe. She knew she would be healed. Jairus knew that Jesus could heal his daughter. He knew he could. So yes, whenever I read these stories, I find myself questioning my own faith. And I pray that you guys also look deeper into your own faith. You know, where are you at in your faith? If God told you drop everything right now and follow him, are you going to do it? Are you going to leave that job? Are you going to step into that ministry? Are you going to move to a completely different state? Are you willing to start completely over to follow God? What are you willing to do? How much faith do you really have? Are you listening to him? Are you listening to him? Are you using the discernment that God gave you? Are you really hearing his voice and actually walking in obedience? You know, partial obedience is still disobedience. So don't have faith that he's going to do this for you, but then not step into it completely because you're scared. We can't be scared. Don't be scared now. You know, like the Israelites were scared to step into the promised land because they saw giants. Don't be scared of the giant in front of you. You got to have faith that God's going to get you through whatever obstacle is there, and that if he tells you to do something, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to have faith that he's going to provide. You got to have faith that, you know, whatever is thrown at you, he's already got it taken care of. He knows in advance what adversity is going to come. Do you trust him? Are you going to trust him to get you through it? That's what you got to do. That's what we all got to do. And I ain't just saying this to y'all. I'm speaking this over my own self too. So, with all that said, man, that's it for today. We're going to pick up tomorrow. We're going to read Numbers 15 and 16. We're going to flip over and start Mark chapter 6. Read it about halfway through. Y'all just remember, if you want to see the change, you got to be the change. We lead by example. We follow by design. So, if it ain't a God thing, it ain't a good thing, man. I pray that you all go out and have a wonderful, blessed rest of the day. And don't forget to love like Jesus. I'll see y'all tomorrow.